I like how it tells you.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Supernatural Beer Bros podcast. I'm your host, Andy, and I'm joined today by Ben down San Diego way and Ronnie up in Maine, frozen 10 feet of snow with the skeeters underneath it.
What's up, everybody?
Man, you can
And
tell
we
how
got,
cold it is where Ronnie's at. You can see his
we,
breath.
we went up, and as you can see, we went out to the woods and we dug up a grave and we found Richie.
You guys found me, yeah. I was in a government hole.
Bayou Andy had to go and scare him up out of the mud bogs of Louisiana.
Yeah, Richie's been gone so long because he's been.
I heard Bayou Andy hollering and hooting out there.
Yeah, well, I heard them skeeters over in Louisiana carried you off. He had to go find you.
Nah,
Yeah,
Richie was in some deep, dark government hole because he dug a little too deep on our subject tonight. He found out way too much.
And he spent time with Elvis, though, so that must have been bitching.
Bayou Andy saved me from the FBI.
Yep. I shot him with my scatter gun.
He broke me out.
How is Tupac doing?
How is Tupac doing, Richie?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. I didn't really get to see him. He might be in the other place, you know?
Right. He sent you a shout out, at least, I hope.
I hope so.
Well, our topic for tonight is Project Serpo.
Project Serpo.
Little green men.
Honestly, dude, I have no idea about Project Serpo. So Andy over here is the fact master or whatever you want to call him.
Not really.
So
I did my research 10 minutes ago.
Oh, shit. In typical Supernatural Beer Bros fashion, I see nothing has changed.
Don't give away your secrets to people.
Hashtag do your own research.
So we did
yes.
Project Serpo and the Zeta Reticuli exchange program. So we did like foreign exchange students with aliens. Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's where that makes sense. Probably where Miller came from.
Feeling thirsty? Drink a Miller. Not sponsored.
Zero sponsors and zero followers. So.
Zero. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew because this is the spirit, you know.
Bet we did a fluid exchange with the aliens too.
Yep. So in November 1977, Steven Spielberg released his movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It was a financial and artistic success. It received a number of accolades, including nominations for 4 Golden Globes and 8 Academy Awards. In 2007, the U.S. Library of Congress deemed the film culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant and chose it for preservation.
Does significant mean accurate, though, is what I want to know.
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. So,
dun, dun, dun.
They chose it for preservation in the Library of Congress for all time. All right, UFO encounter classification. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. Encounters of the first kind. That's where somebody sees a UFO at a distance, maybe closer than 500 feet, and is able to give a pretty good description of the object. Encounters of the second kind. The viewing of a UFO creates a physical sensation. For example, the encounter
gives you the tinglies, makes you feel like it's gonna happen.
I'm having one.
Tickles your balls a little bit.
Once you start feeling a fucking little tingle in your balls and you're not doing anything sexual or whatever, like that's when you know you're about to have a close encounter of the second kind. So just for girls, it's when your tits start to shake a little bit, you know? Randomly.
So, and encounters of the third time or kind is where you actually see a being there and it starts jerking you off.
Oh, shit. That's when Bayou Andy has to come out and save you.
little green hands.
That's when Bayou Andy says, "You ain't doing this without me."
When you start to hear some random yee-yeeing out in the wild, it's probably a third encounter.
Anyone gonna be messing with Richie, it's gonna be me.
Oh shit. I'm scared now suddenly.
Well, at least me and Uncle Daddy gonna have us a nephew son.
At least you're not trapped in the studio with me this time.
Enough sun. I know, right? Now I'm free. I'm in my studio,
right?
not in space. Fucking Andy's out in space right now. Jesus Christ.
Don't you mean
Hey,
your best?
he's on the space station with the Russian astronauts, and they're staring at each other right now with
It's
menacing look.
a whole showdown right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the exchange program between Earth and Project Serpo in the Zeta Reticuli system. The Planet Serpo Exchange project traces its origins to the famous Roswell crash, where a UFO reportedly crashed in the plains near Socorro, New Mexico on May 31st, 1947. The remains of
AKA the weather balloon.
Yep. The remains of the craft and one living extraterrestrial, along with the bodies of his 4 dead companions, were taken to Roswell for analysis. Meanwhile, the government reported to the American public, telling them they had only seen weather balloons, as Richie just stated.
Can you imagine? It was like bring your kid to school. I mean, bring your kid to work day, right? And you work for like the weather balloons, and your kids just jump in there and they get taken away, and they have a crash landing, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's aliens!" It's actually just like a couple 8-year-olds.
A couple 8-year-olds that covered themselves in gray paint and
Yeah,
shaved their head
something.
and all that.
8-year-olds are into some weird shit, man. Tell you what, I used to eat dirt when I was 8, so I
all
could probably
did.
paint myself.
But that's why we
when I
grew
was
up so
8.
tough.
I ate all kinds of dirt when I was a kid.
We
I
used to make
remember
mud
vividly
pies.
making mud pies.
So, as it turned out, there were 2 crashes. The remains of the second UFO were not found until 2 years later. It appeared the 2 spacecraft had crashed into each other. By then, 6 bodies of dead aliens had decomposed, so there wasn't much left. Even so, the remains were taken to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base for evaluation and study. The Roswell Living ET, later named EBE-1 for extraterrestrial biological entity number 1, was friendly and calm. He attempted to communicate, but spoke in tonal qualities that Americans were never able to understand or speak.
Hold on, Andy. I'm pretty sure that stands for eating bitches every day number 1. Okay.
Eating bitches every day.
Yeah. I don't know what this article is saying, but everyone in the UFO society knows what that really means. Carry on. I just had to correct you real quick.
Don't you mean it means eating buttholes every day?
There you go. That's another way to say it.
Ew.
You are gay.
Oh, damn, Andy. I forgot you had that. You have power now over the buttons.
So, according to UFO researcher Len Kasten, EBE-1 seemed very intelligent and was able to quickly learn English. He informed his keepers that he was from a planet called Serpo, about 40 light years away in the Zeta Reticuli system. EBE worked with the...
Say it, Andy. Don't say it fully.
Eating buttholes every day.
Thank you.
Worked with...
Number 1.
Worked with the salvaged communication device in his space vehicle to try and contact his home planet. He tried six times, and all 6 times the communication system failed. In early 1952, eating buttholes every day 1 sadly
Thank you. Yes.
sadly passed away without ever making contact with his home.
Finally,
Can you
getting some
substitute?
recognition.
Okay, can you substitute eating buttholes every day 1 with like tongue punching fart boxes 1?
Yeah, but that wouldn't match up with the letters, Ronny.
No, but it's the same thing.
I guess that'll be like a secret code named for the well-known eating butthole every day number 1.
Come on.
Oh my God, Andy.
You're fired.
So,
What did you say? You're
fired.
afraid? Oh, you're fired. That's what he said.
no.
You're fired.
You're fired. So his effort was not unrewarded. In December 1952, the military made contact with the alien race referred to as Ebens. All right, so we got to add an N and an S to that.
Ebens.
Eating buttholes every day. Not sorry.
Not sorry. Yeah. Yes. Get it. Not sorry.
You're fired.
Oh God.
Gross.
All right, so they lived on planet Serpo in the Zeta Reticuli system,
Ugh.
and and communications
Damn.
expired over the
Wow.
next 9 years. During this time, an exchange program between the inhabitants of two planets, Earth and Serpo, was created.
Who's that? The
Ameri-
gag? That was Ronnie, right?
Yeah, that was Ronnie.
I feel like maybe Ronnie was abducted and ended up there, and now he has like an involuntary like gag reaction because they probably like they experienced on or what do you say?
Experimented.
Like, yeah, they experimented on him. There we go.
Yeah, those
So he had a gag.
those edibles are really eating at your vocabulary, Rich.
Yeah, bro, they are badly. This Miller Lite too mixing. It's not too great.
Crossfaded.
So I'm drinking
Now
one.
you're fired.
And then and then we'll switch to water.
So anyway,
Ronnie was up there with Russell Case.
back.
Let's all remember July 4th, 1997.
A day that will live in infamy.
In the words of my generation, up yours.
Richie doesn't know what we're talking about.
I'm confused right now.
It's the you
July
seen the movie
4th,
Independence Day, right?
1997.
Richie, the
It's the what?
Richie,
Independence Day.
the movie Independence Day. Richie,
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it. Yeah.
you never saw that with
No, bro. I haven't.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
I feel like maybe I have, but I was probably like too young to even remember anything about it. So maybe I need to watch it though.
Anyway, so 12 American astronauts, 10 men and 2 women were selected for the experiment for the exchange program.
Boy, those 2 women were busy. And after they left, holy cow.
How do you know the men weren't cornholing each other?
There might have been a couple
They're
there that
sword
were.
fighting in the corner or something.
Well, every damn one of them with just 2 women there after about a year. Were probably every one of them were all wiener cousins.
Hey, what do you
By the
think?
end of it.
What do you think if the men got on?
Wiener cousins.
Hey, what do you think if the men got on board the ship first, and as soon as the females got on board and they saw the females, and then all of a sudden one of the men was like this.
Release the hound.
What the fuck?
Hey, listen, I have to believe that any female would go on a mission like that. Probably a pretty butch female. They probably weren't very attractive. I don't know.
Okay, anyway, so there were strict requirements in order for a person to join the program, and the training was rigorous. In short, the ones chosen for the journey could not be married or have children, and though it was not a requirement, having living family members like parents or siblings was not ideal. The assignment required their unquestioned absence for 10 years. No one on Earth should be concerned about their whereabouts for the duration of the mission.
So they just had to hit the streets and scoop up a few homeless people and bums that said no annoying family members to ask annoying questions.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. So
Or if there are family members, none that give a shit.
Jesus.
They're just like, take them.
Yes,
Take 'em, I don't care what you do with them. Experiment on them. I don't care.
Yeah. So the exchange was scheduled to occur at Holloman Air Force Base on April 24th, 1964, with approval from President John F. Kennedy.
When was it approved?
April 24th,
1964.
All right. Well, it had to have been signed. It had to have been signed before November 1963 because that's when he was killed.
Oh shit, we're finding man.
Holes in the article.
Yes, holes
Well, I
in the
mean,
article.
sometimes, okay, so I mean, that could be one of 2 things. Because sometimes, mostly when presidents sign something, it usually doesn't go in effect like tomorrow. Usually, it's
Takes
like
a little bit of time.
yeah. So that's one possible explanation. But if they're saying it was signed that day, then they're lying. But let's hear it out. Let's hear the rest of it out.
Well, if it was signed that day, then it wasn't by JFK, unless JFK is actually alive and the JFK that was shot was a, double.
Hey,
Him and
who-
Elvis share
Dun dun.
him and Elvis share a bungalow in the in
With Tupac.
Planet Serpo.
Yeah.
yeah, no, they just share a bungalow in like the
Tahiti or
archipelago.
something.
Yeah, Tahiti. There we go. San Marino.
In Argentina.
Hey, who succeeded? Who succeeded Kennedy? It was LBJ, right?
LBJ, yeah. His vice president.
Oh yeah, he had Kennedy killed. Pretty sure.
Well, all right. I mean, so
He had a
I'm gonna
hand in it.
operate
I
under
don't
the
think he
assumption-
single-handedly did it.
I'm going to operate under the assumption that what it means potentially is that he signed something in 1963 or before, which went into effect in 1964, because that's typically what happens with presidential decrees or, like executive orders. They're usually time specific. So.
Hmm.
Well, it
Moving
says the
right along.
exchange was scheduled to occur. So like
Yeah.
this, I don't know. Yeah. In 1964, but yeah.
So 2 eating buttholes every day, not sorry spaceships landed as planned.
Damn.
A contingent of American government personnel greeted them. The 12 American astronauts prepared to embark on their adventure, but for some reason, the exchange got postponed. The Ebens
Was it an adventure of eating buttholes?
Yes, that's the only
Probably.
adventure.
the last great adventure.
Yeah.
So
The final frontier.
The only frontier.
No, the final frontier, like Star Trek. It's not space, however. It's eating buttholes.
Yes.
All right, so the Ebens retrieved the remains of their dead comrades and left. The Ebens returned in July 1965 and picked up their passengers. According to Kasten, only one Eben stayed behind on Earth.
It's a bonus if they give you a little poot on the end of your nose.
So the Earth travelers
Bonus points.
The Earth travelers took literally tons of supplies with them, including food, medicine, weapons, and jeeps and motorcycles. But during the trip, they ate Eben food, which they heartily disliked because they said it tasted like paper.
Huh, even food. I wonder like what it is.
You'd be better off to eat this box than what's in it.
Properly.
The box is the food. There's nothing in here.
So on the journey, they explored the spacecraft and were able to communicate with Earth. Unfortunately, one American had some kind of accident and died on the trip. They completed the 40 light year distance in only 10 months.
Jesus Christ. How fast were they going then?
10
Warp
times
speed.
light, at least.
So they
They were going-
transformed into light. They had to.
They were going ludicrous speed.
Oh shit. Yeah, that explains it. Fucking Elon Musk probably had a hand in this.
They went plaid.
As my kids say, cray speed.
They went plaid like
Yeah.
that shirt.
They went plaid all the way there. It's Spaceball 1. They've gone plaid.
Oh god.
And then on the back of it, it says, "We break for no one."
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?
And then he finally gets him going fast, and he's like, "Stop this thing." He's like, "We can't stop. We have to slow down first." Bullshit. Stop this thing now. And then he goes flying into the console, smashes the whole thing up.
They must have overshot us by a week.
So anyway, the landing.
The sea is foamy.
Yeah. It always gets foamy when Ronnie's around.
Excellent.
When the spacecraft landed and the Americans disembarked, they received quite a positive welcome. A large number of Ebens were present. Can't we just say Greys? Change this to Greys because that's what they are. They're Greys.
Did they all have
they're
their
eating
dicks out
ball
with
every
for
day.
Harambe?
Not
The
sorry.
Ebens were present to greet them, and an Eben female spokesperson spoke to them in fluent English. The astronauts were overwhelmed with the brightness of two suns It was about 107 degrees, and they all were in great discomfort due to the heat, which
Hey,
remained
Andy.
a problem for them during their entire stay on the planet.
Hey, Andy.
107 is hot.
Andy.
Not that hot.
Andy.
I think Andy's gone deaf.
I
Hello.
hear you, Ronnie. I'm trying to
Are
read.
you ignoring me?
I am.
No, I have a question about the alien welcome.
Huh?
The when they showed up on the planet, the welcome. I was wondering if the warm welcome they got, if a lot of the aliens were standing out there and they were holding signs and with their dicks out for Harambe.
Well, this was long before Harambe.
Yeah, but if you don't think of time and space as in a linear fashion, then Harambe was actually happening.
Hey, which
at that
actually
time.
makes sense because I'm sure the Ebens don't think of time and space in a linear fashion.
Absolutely,
If they're
past, present,
fucking
and
getting
future are
to
all
z-
occurring now simultaneously.
Dude, they're getting to the Zeta Reticuli in fucking 10 months when it takes 40 light years. Like, come on.
I think
Exactly, going that
Time
far
and
beyond the
space is
speed of
nothing to
light.
them. So Harambe, this could all be connected. I fuck with you, Ronnie, man. I feel like you're going somewhere, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Dicks out for Harambe.
Ben looks bored with all this banter.
He's like, I don't understand what's going on right now. He needs some wine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my Boone
This
Farm.
is Supernatural Beer Bros, but also any alcohol we
You got
indulge in.
Boone's Farm?
Passion, man. I'm not even speaking.
Sweet. We used to have Boone's Farm.
All right. No, I'm just listening politely.
I used to roll with Boone's Farm when I was younger.
I've had one of the worst hangovers of my life on Boone's Farm.
I mean,
What are you sipping on right now, Ronnie?
officially, I don't know
Twisted
what type this is.
Oh, all right. Is it the peach twisted tea?
This one is. Then I got some half and half.
You like the peach ones?
They're all right. Yeah,
Yeah, those are pretty good.
It's,
half and half are better.
I can't drink too many of them though because they're too sweet for me. Like
So
they start to, I don't know.
hold on, guys. So we haven't heard much from Ben on this topic. So what do you think so far, Ben? What's your opinion on all this?
I'm processing.
He agrees with the Harambe thing, I think. There's no way he doesn't.
Well, I mean, is this
Time
like a
and space is
Are
irrelevant.
you saying that he could exist at any point in time?
They could know about him.
So, like George Washington knew about Harambe.
No, the freaking Ebens or whatever.
Oh, the butt people. Okay.
Well, it kind of
Yeah,
ties into
yes,
the ancient
yes.
records, like everything that has existed, exists now, and will ever exists in the present right now simultaneously. Everything that has ever happened or will ever happen all exists at the same time.
I'm just going to say that the assassination of Harambe set into motion things in the universe that we can't possibly fathom at this
Absolutely.
moment.
Absolutely.
including the outbreak of World War III that we're
Our
currently.
puny little brains are too stupid to understand the greater picture, but these Ebens, oh man, they know.
And
know.
yes, I used the word assassination and not just killing a gorilla. They assassinated Harambe.
Well,
worse than Kennedy.
R.I.P. Harambe.
you got to remember that Harambe was violently thrashing a toddler. So, I mean,
No, he was trying to protect that little boy.
That was an Eben, bro.
meanwhile, half drowning him in the little creek that goes through his habitat.
That wasn't a toddler. That was an Eben, bro. That was a fucking gray. Harambe saw through it.
Well, that boy's parents should have took better care of him.
It'd be like that sometimes.
The seas foamy.
Yeah, that kid probably pissed his parents off one too many times at the zoo today, and they said, "Fuck you, you little bastard," and threw him in the gorilla pit.
I mean, that's terrible, but Andy could probably agree with you on that because I've been with him when we've taken the kids to the zoo, and holy cow, those kids are something else.
Yeah, especially when 5 minutes in, they're complaining about their feet hurting.
Sometimes you want to throw them in the gorilla pit and be like,
I
your
paid
feet
all this
hurt,
money
your
to
feet
come
hurt.
here, and you want to quit already?
You know, their feet don't actually hurt. They're just whining because they want you to carry them because they're lazy.
Yeah, except the older one is almost 12 years old, and he weighs almost as much as I do, so I'm not carrying his ass.
Yes, children. children.
So anyway,
Yeah. Cue the fart
He is
noise, Andy.
I'm not even on that page. Here we go.
I like how he did it, but it was such a chore. He's like,
Right.
fuck, whatever.
So, time spent on Serpo. The Americans expected to stay on Serpo for 10 years, but as it turns out, due to their confusion with their calendars, they stayed 13 years. It was difficult to keep track of days and time since the planet had 2 suns and it never got completely dark. One day on Eben lasted about 40 hours, as opposed to our 24.
God, that would be torture. Can you guys sleep when there's light out?
Nope.
I can sleep some, but not very well.
And I damn sure can't sleep in a room that's
Damn.
107 degrees.
That would suck.
It'd be like sleeping in an oven.
Yeah, 107 degrees is a bit much.
Imagine
I'd be butt naked all the time.
waking up with swamp ass.
Oh yeah, swamp ass and bed sores.
Oh shit. That's terrible. That's fucking terrible.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'd just be brutal. All right. During their stay on Serpo, the Americans learned what they could about the history of the Ebens. The population of Serpo at the time of the visit was about 650,000 on the whole planet. And all were Ebens.
Damn, bro, that ain't shit.
There was no other race or species on the planet other than Ebens.
How big is this planet opposed to Earth, like, or compared to Earth?
You know what? That can't be true. It says there were no other races or species on the planet other than Ebens. So what the fuck do they eat then?
If that's true, then that's not their home planet. They landed there, and it was an uninhabited planet.
So they was
Before
was
they got there.
exploring and shit.
Yeah, but everything requires some other form of life to survive.
Right. Well, it stands to reason. It just stands to reason that if they evolved on that planet, that other species would evolve alongside them.
Unless they're a lot like us and they end up killing most of it off, and then there's a mass extinction, and then we're the only ones left for a short time until we die too.
Right. Well, that can happen too.
Well, maybe they're just like the aliens from Independence Day, travel planet to planet and destroy the life on each planet.
Did you see Did you see the new Independence Day?
No, it
Where
looks stupid as fuck, so I didn't bother.
The aliens come back in a giant spaceship and they try to tunnel to the core of the Earth, and we have to stop them before they get there.
Yeah, the new Independence Day is basically, I mean, it's a different movie, but at the same time, it's basically the same plot. It's the same movie as the original movie, just different in small ways.
It's 20 years in the future, though, so
it's different in very small ways, but it's the same plot, same movie.
So, wait, where was I?
Shit, man, where was I?
The astronauts learned about the Ebens' religious beliefs and technology. It seemed they lived fairly primitively for a culture that also had advanced technology. Specifically, Ebens had anti-gravity vehicles they used for ground transportation. After a few years, the Americans moved to the northern part of the planet where it was cooler, and they were able to grow food more to their liking. They had taken with them food to last for more than 2 years, but when it ran out, they had to eat Eben food, which they never learned to like. Due to radiation exposure.
You mean the fucking cardboard boxes?
Yep. So due to radiation exposure, 2 of the astronauts of the expedition died while on Serpo. Due to radiation exposure. I'm assuming cosmic radiation, like from the nearby 2 suns. So that's a possibility as well.
Possibility.
Is that the noise the Ebens use when they're banging?
Could be.
When they're eating butthole every day?
Actually,
sorry, you mean?
That's that recording I took directly from the archives of Project Serpo. So.
Oh shit! Bayou Andy went in and got some straight up like good information, huh?
Espionage Andy.
Oh shit!
Excellent. So
Release the hounds.
Can you imagine if Bayou Andy was on this mission here? Like, do you think shit would get done?
No.
Or do you think all
No.
650,000 of the Sebans would be dead because he
No.
brought his buckshot?
Bayou Andy was there. He'd be trying to clap even cheeks.
Oh, yeah. Ronnie would
I
too.
like your guys' culture. Eating buttholes every day, not sorry, huh? He's like, that's what I live by.
You know what I like. So, the return home. 2 Americans liked life on Serpo so much they decided to stay. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe they got Eben girlfriends or boyfriends, whatever.
One of them was probably Bayou Andy. Nah, Bayou Andy's here, so it doesn't make sense.
That wasn't
And
me.
when he was done, Bayou Andy said, "But did you die?"
But
No,
but
he
in his
did-
Bayou
well,
Andy
then
accent.
quit your bitching.
But
Bayou
did
Andy,
you
say,
die?
did you die? Yeah, say it.
Did you die?
But did you die?
It sounded like you had dip in your lip too when you said that.
Till
like the
you
way you
die,
yelled it.
then you'll know the truth.
Ting. Little fucking ting of the bucket.
But did you die, boy?
I like the
Well,
way
you
you
didn't.
die, boy.
And you better quit your bitching,
That's just my spittoon.
or I'll make your death fantasy a reality.
Jeez, Bayou Andy on this mission. I think we'd be at war right now. Earth probably would have been exploded already.
Bayou McAndrews.
Come here, you little Eben slut. Put my thumb up your ass.
Oh shit. Fucking Bayou Andy, huh?
Like old Tom Thumb with my thumb in a plum.
Like this.
Oh shit. The sign language sign for poop.
All right,
Oh,
so
boy.
the remaining astronauts returned home in 1978, and the government quarantined them for an entire year. During that time, they had many debriefings, which resulted in a 3,000-page report. They were then allowed to go back to their normal lives. Little is known about their lives since, except the last surviving member of the crew died in 2002. There has been no communication with Ebens on Serpo since 1985, so it is not known what happened to the Americans who chose to stay.
Well, Bayou Andy killed them all. Confirmed. Do, 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 do.
Yeah, I'll let you in on a little secret. Since they decided to stay on an alien planet with an alien race because they liked they're alien lovers and they liked them so much, I killed them for
shit.
treason.
It was like that movie Aliens, Alien 2. When she said, let's say we lift off and nuke the whole site from orbit.
I killed those members of my team that wanted to stay because I said they were traitors.
I buried them right where I found them.
Because they were Eben lovers.
Damn, Bayou Ronny was there too. Is that the 2 humans? Bayou Andy and
They
Bayou
were
Ronny
Eben lovers.
That's right.
got left there. Time
know
and
what?
space doesn't exist. Remember,
There's a lot of holes in this desert, if you know what I mean.
I like to avoid troubles with the government.
Oh, okay.
We don't like the law.
It happened in deep space, so they couldn't prosecute me.
Hey, what happens on Serpo stays in Serpo.
Oh shit.
I wonder
I
if
don't
those
even
aliens will
wanna
let me
know.
come and build a casino.
I don't even want to know the crazy shit that happens there, man. I'm sure it's crazy.
Right?
Oh, it's like the Vegas of the Eben world.
Oh shit.
So,
Nothing is off limits. It's like you can fuck buffet.
God damn. The whole
All right,
planet is
Ronnie,
just a
with
fucking
the
giant
bat-
Vegas, huh?
Here we go with Ronnie with the Batman YouTube video again. Already going.
Oh, shit.
All right, so that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, I guess President Reagan got a briefing, and I actually have a.
Just to be clear, that wasn't the first time someone shoved 9 hard inches up into somebody's ribs.
God damn.
Ronnie, Jesus Christ, Hurricane Ronnie is just whipping the sea up into the worst foam you've ever seen and blowing us into fucking New Zealand. I don't know what's going on.
I'm sorry, Andy. You can kick me off the podcast if you want. I'm just having too much fun.
All right. So who wants to hear a little bit of this Reagan briefing?
Go
Sure,
for it.
Let's find some highlights.
Well, I mean, to do highlights, I would have had to read this previously.
So this
selected.
is what
Called
Reagan
skimming,
got as a
motherfucker.
briefing,
Skim,
right?
skim,
I'm not good at skimming.
skim milk.
So, William Casey, Mr. President, good morning. As we discussed in February, this briefing contains some very sensational and some very, very classified information. I'm not sure. I am not sure. Oh, well, I'm not going to make a decision on who you want in the room. That will be your decision, Mr. President. This will be a real tough one to follow since the briefing starts back, historically speaking. That is, and runs up to recent times. I believe we have prepared a good chronological order of events. I'm sure you, Mr. President, will have many questions. The list of questions presented to me, advisor 2, should blah, 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 blah. President.
What is this, a dialogue? Who wrote this shit
Yeah, it's a
down? Who
dialogue.
was sitting there typing?
It's a dialogue. It's the president.
It's a transcript of a tape recorded conversation, apparently.
So, well, it'll be
okay.
entirely up to you, Bill. I guess everyone must be cleared for this briefing of information. Casey, well, it appears everyone is, but as you will see, Mr. President, this stuff is pretty high up on the food chain. We call it ATS or above top secret, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Okay, Bill, I guess we need advisor 1, advisor 3. Casper here, I think advisor 2 and Michael can leave. Advisor 2, Mr. President, excuse me, but I would prefer to leave. I don't wish to know this information. Yeah, bullshit. Everybody would want to know this information. I already discredit this transcript. It's horseshit. Anybody in that room would want to stay and listen to what was being said.
You mean that ET shit from Spielberg is real?
No, but they don't even
Apparently,
know. Look, hold on. They don't even know what's about to be discussed. All they know is it's above top secret and it's crazy fucking secret and crazy shit. So anybody in that room would, just out of pure human curiosity, would want to stay and know what it is.
This is a black op, gentlemen. If you are discovered, I will deny all knowledge and you will pay the price.
Yeah, we're not reading that anymore. Hey, look, Richie. Bibliotheca Pleiades.
Oh shit! Now we're getting to the good stuff.
Editor William Burns. Yeah, it's mostly all the same information, though. Roswell crash didn't take place in Roswell. Actually, it took place in Corona near Datil, New Mexico. The surviving ET or EBE, according to MJ12 briefing documents, was from Zeta Reticuli system, the same system that was home to the alien abductors of Betty and Barney Hill. Which we haven't done an episode on Betty.
Didn't fucking Barney Hill get a space STD from these guys?
I think so.
Yeah, he did. He got some weird like anal warts or something.
And on his penis too.
No, he got space syphilis because he went crazy there.
Space syphilis, holy shit. Space AIDS.
Right?
Something swam up there and spread its spines out and latched in.
Oh.
Be like a fucking yellow perch just swims up there and spreads out its spine.
Finds him. Oh my god, that's gross.
That's fucking disgusting. Yeah.
That's one hell of a big swish. That's one hell of a big fish to swim.
I'm more comfortable thinking they just fucking stick needles up your penis or something.
Oh god.
Did you hear about that guy? I think it was somewhere in Asia. I don't remember where, but this guy went swimming naked in a river and a fucking leech swam up his pee hole.
No.
They had to remove it surgically.
That's when like the cold, man. The cold kills shit like that. I love cold.
I can't tell you how many leeches I got on my legs in Maine wandering through the woods. Dude, leeches exist in cold climate.
Yeah, you got to go in some pretty nasty swampy areas to get leeches, though. They're mostly not in the ponds and lakes, rivers.
Just because Bayou Andy is walking around the fucking bayous of Maine getting leeches.
So,
dude,
doesn't mean everyone else
shit.
Is.
Andy got some shit out in the swamp one time where like it got in his bloodstream and started like going up his leg from his foot. He had to go to the hospital and get some like serious antibiotics.
Oh shit, that's fucking scary.
It was a blood.
If that was in like 1870, you would have been dead.
Probably.
Absolutely.
Or bye foot, sir.
Yeah, there's a lot of times when I should have been dead.
Yeah, it would have
Blame
been
my
like on
tongue.
Army of Darkness. Like it got in my hand and it went bad. I locked it off at the wrist. He's like laughing maniacally as he cuts his wrist off with his hand off with a chainsaw.
Except it's some like crazy hillbilly Andy laugh.
Or that
Yeah,
movie, or that movie Evolution, where the fucking that little flying thing with the razor blade for a nose gets in the dude's leg, and then he's trying to stop it, and he's like, no.
He's like,
Gets inside him.
he's like, no. He's like, we gotta take the leg. He's like, no. And he's like, it's going for his testicles. Take it, take the leg.
He's like, wait, it's going towards his colon. He's like, we'll catch it in the colon. He's like, how you going in? Going in rectally.
Going in.
Dude, imagine the damage that thing would be doing as it's traveling through his body, just slicing away at tissue. He'd be.
Why are we talking about something tearing someone's asshole apart?
How did it get into his colon? It had to have sliced it open and got in. I mean, it's the only way.
Can't say I've never torn an asshole apart.
Oh, zing.
That's because you haven't lived, Ronnie. You haven't lived.
I said I can't say I haven't.
I thought you said you can't say you have.
Nope, I said I can't say I haven't.
The more you know.
TMI.
The more you know, the sea gets foamier.
Yeah,
There's no more
it's
water.
getting kind of a scummy, murky foam too.
Ronnie, I think at this point we're pretty much out of water and the boat's sitting on the ocean floor.
God
Yeah,
damn.
we struck a coral reef. We saw a mermaid. The mermaid warned us of our doom, and we drowned.
Yep, pretty much.
But the sirens are dragging us to our doom right now.
Yeah, it's force feeding us sea foam.
Shoveling it in by the spoonful.
Mermaid ain't Ariel. This ain't Disney.
Well, I think that's
I
pretty
think
much
Andy would be a great Ariel, by the way. If he
that's
just
pretty
grew
much
his hair
the
out.
gist of it.
Hashtag do your own research.
Right?
Yes.
We introduce the subject to you and we make some jokes. But if you want to know serious stuff on the subject matter, do your own research.
Dude, and actually
Your damn
just-
dad.
just recently on some other podcasts I've listened to, I've heard some really erotic alien abduction stories.
Oh, I've heard some too.
Yeah. People love to fantasize about that shit, I'm sure.
I'm not kidding. No, I mean, these are people that claim that this really happened to them.
Yeah, like
One,
giggity giggity.
It was like some Hispanic dude from, I think it was Argentina or something.
Yeah, they wake up and the aliens are outside their bedroom window going giggity, 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 giggity. Like,
Oh. Can you imagine? That'd be fucking scary, but it's all monotone. Like it's not like a giggle, it's just like giggity, giggity, giggity.
Imagine
Gray
like
outside staring at you.
imagine like some like super hot like Earth chick with like big tits and a big ass. Only it's got a gray alien head. And then all of a sudden it just walks up and starts trying to jerk you off.
I mean, no.
But
I might
no.
go with it. I
Tentacles
mean,
come out of her hand.
I might go with it. That wouldn't be the most difficult FAP I've ever had to do.
I've had
Oh shit.
I tell you what I had to do. I had to turn it around. I bent it over and then I started clapping them cheeks.
Oof.
You turned them over and played in the mud.
What little bit of cheeks that bitch had. It's a skinny gray.
Damn, Bayou
Oh my
Andy. I
God.
think Bayou Andy was actually the death of that whole situation.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. By the time when Ronnie gets hit by the tractor beam and it's sucking him up into the ship, by the time he gets up there, he's already shooting ropes all over the fucking. He'll be like that guy. Was it Ben Stiller on American Pie, where he's like, "I'm sorry, I can't stop coming."
Hey, you can be like one of the friggin', high on PCP or something crackheads that I've heard about friggin' while they're
Oh damn.
they got one hand on their junk cranking on it like furiously, and
Oh.
with the other hand they literally are successfully fighting off like 8 cops. And they never skip a
Oh.
beat. They never skip a beat the whole time. They're furiously just cranking, shooting ropes. Like
Jesus
I
fucking
think we've had
Christ.
enough, I think we've had enough talk about fopping.
The Fat Master Ronnie.
fat.
All right, let's go around the
He
table
is
here.
the master debater.
Ben, Project Serpo, anorexic, obese. What do you got?
It's probably starving to death.
Starving to death. All right, Ronnie, what do you got?
I wouldn't go so far as to say starving to death. I'd say not morbidly obese, but getting up there in the weight. You know, had a few extra pounds of Thanksgiving dinner.
All right, Richie, if you're not familiar with our fat scale of legitimacy, anorexic means it's fake. Obese means it's definitely real. So where are you at in between?
Fuck,
for
bro,
Project Serpo?
obese.
You think this is real?
Yes, because time and space has no specific order.
All right, I'm gonna go with just over center. So I'm gonna say it's fit looking, but high blood pressure
High blood pressure.
and possibly high cholesterol as well.
Yeah. Little too much salt and clogged arteries.
God damn.
Oh man, I don't know what your diet looks like, Ronnie, but damn.
Lots of salt. That's I'm just saying.
Yeah, me too.
Salting everything.
Oh yeah.
Salt the jerky. Salt the salted steak.
I like having a little bit of steak with my salt.
Ben's,
Oh shit.
Ben's looking just a wee bit sleepy.
Kids, man.
Yeah, me too. Anyway,
Join the club, man.
I got a 9-year-old here right now who's totally immersed in her Oculus headset.
I have no kids, and I'm happy with that so far.
Yeah, he's the only one who doesn't look tired.
me?
What?
That's because I didn't get out of bed until like almost 10 o'clock.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
because you
Andy.
Andy from the tip to like one, balls, 30 or something, 1:30.
I was in bed last night by 11.
Man, my boy was drinking. We had a couple beers yesterday.
Shit,
And he was like, "Turn down for what?" Bayou Andy came out.
me and Richie
Found
drank
his
a
mood
case,
and
me and
shine.
Richie drank a case between us. So
Damn, son.
O'Doyle's doesn't count.
O'Doyle rules.
Doyle rules. Banana peel takes them all out.
Are we still recording?
yes, we are.
My God.
All right, so I think this pretty much wraps up Supernatural Beer Bros for the night.
Hell yeah, brother. Glad to be back from that government hole that Mr. Bayou Andy saved me from. Thank you, good sir.
Right here, telling in another week you're going to be slip sliding your way back into another hole somewhere.
Oh, I'm gonna be in the clouds, quite literally.
Yeah.
Stuck in the clouds.
Anyway, so if you want to bitches, gripes,
Clouds
complaints,
of relapse.
suggestions, you hit us up on supernaturalbeerbros@gmail.com. Instagram is SBB Pod. You can hit us up on the DMs there. We have our YouTube channel, same thing, Supernatural Beer Bros on YouTube. If you feel like watching like our couple reaction videos that we did to UFOs or the ghost video one we did.
Hell yeah, brother.
Like and
I
subscribe.
promise you guys
Go.
too. I promise you guys too. One of these days, Andy and I will go to a haunted location and probably record from there and see what happens. All right.
Yeah, that'll
So
be fun.
it'll happen.
We'll take a group trip to Maine and go to that spooky ass house.
You wouldn't go.
Hell
there.
yeah, brother. We could do that.
What spooky house?
Ben's not down.
I'll camp outside. I'll be there for moral support. I don't fuck around with
He
it.
said I'll be there for moral support. He'll just be yelling at in like
You
3
guys
in the
come-
morning.
Gotta
You
go
guys will
somewhere
be all
before,
right.
What'd you
You're
say,
breaking
Ron?
up a little.
Ben, if everyone comes to Maine and we go to a creepy location, we all got to go to Fort Knox.
Where's that house out in Warren or something?
Oh,
Where's
Carmel,
that?
Oh.
Carmel, Maine.
Carmel. All right.
The Warren
Can anyone
House?
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We hear you, Ronnie.
Is Fort
It
Knox
sounded
haunted?
like they say it is. Fort Knox actually has its own like dedicated ghost group. They investigate there all the time.
I never heard that because, our friends in the unit, they go up there every year. I mean, I never heard anyone talk about it.
Yeah, they have their own like dedicated ghost group that goes there, and they invite like what?
For the listeners out there, we're not talking about Fort Knox, Kentucky, with all the gold in it. This is another Fort Knox.
Oh, that gold, boy.
Fort Knox, Maine.
This is a creepy old Civil War era fort that is in surprisingly good
Can we
condition
spend
for
the
its
night
age,
there?
but it's it is pretty creepy. I've
Is it a
heard
state
stories
park or
that
a
it's
national
haunted,
park,
but
or what is it?
it's a state park, I think.
So
Well,
do they
hell
allow
yeah.
you to be in there overnight, or you have to get permission?
You got to get special permission. You can't just do it.
Well, that's something we would have to arrange way ahead of time then. So
Well,
You could arrange
regardless,
it.
Not
we
to go
are
too
going to
far
do a
afield,
haunted
but
place
I
soon.
had a bit of a ghostly experience today.
What happened, Ben?
Legit. So I went to this church. It's a church with a lot of Ukrainian people in it. So I was going there to kind of pray for like peace and whatever the situation in
Mhm.
Ukraine. And so it's a Catholic church, so I hadn't been to confession in a long time. It's been like a year plus. So I don't know if anyone's familiar with how priests do confession, but like this is like an Orthodox church. You actually don't like sit behind a box and they talk through you through a screen. If you're familiar with like an Orthodox kind of church, they have like the icons and the pictures and paintings depicting like saints, Jesus, and everyone. So you actually stand in front of an icon of Christ and you make your confession while the priest is there basically as a witness. So we're the only two people in this church, like because he told me to be there early. He was there early. No one else was there. While I'm giving this confession, we start hearing like walking noises, like because this church isn't too far from the the 805, right, Ronnie? I mean, Andy, the 805 in California, Southern California.
San Diego area.
Yeah, 805. Yeah, it goes up to LA.
Mhm.
So the church
Andy's
isn't.
not here. He has a small bladder.
Oh, well, yeah. So anyhow, so it's not terribly far up the 805. So like, and heavy winds kind of like there's some shaking and noise that happens from the traffic every now and then, but this was an internal sound of like clearly like people walking upstairs.
Squeaking on the like on the floorboards type.
Yeah, because so it's like you have the sanctuary, then you have the choir loft, and there's stairs that lead to the choir loft. And it's not that big of a church, and then there's stairs that go down into the basement for like their parish hall, their gathering area where they have like meals and meetings or whatever. So yeah, and he like looks back a couple times, like, is there someone here? Like he was clearly perturbed by this because he wasn't expecting anyone to be there until like 9 o'clock, and this was like 50 minutes beforehand. So, and then after my confession, we didn't hear that sound no more. Like that was it. It was during strictly that time when I was making my confession to when then it concluded, bam, no more of those sounds. So
That's strange.
I was pretty damn sure that was an experience today.
Andy had an experience earlier too,
yeah, I know. I told you about it, Richie, and I was just gonna
right before we
comment on
started recording.
that. You remember Ben and Ronnie the last time when I told you that how I got like this whole area surrounded by a tarp?
Yeah.
Remember when I told you it moved and I felt the air come through?
Yeah, I remember. I think we were recording.
I watched it on camera happen.
Well,
yeah, we watched that shit.
It happened again, but this time there was no air. It was on the other side of the tarp, and it felt like, or it looked like a hand went from about 4 feet up down to 2 feet and just down on the tarp.
No.
And but it was on the other side pushing in towards me, and then nothing, and it hasn't moved since. So like nothing's happened and nothing's moved in here since. So
when did that happen? Right before me and Ben got on?
Right before you guys got on.
Yeah.
Here. I was telling Richie.
I think it's the Ebens trying to come back and get by you, Andy.
Could be.
Oh shit.
No, they're haunting you because you killed them
Andy,
all.
you need to let whatever that is know that it can just come on in the tent and you'll peg it if it wants that. So
Yeah, let's see if this thing moves. Let's see real quick.
Don't do that. Don't fucking tempt stuff.
Hey.
You don't tempt stuff.
We can't even see Andy because you're in
Come in here
space.
so I can clap them cheeks.
No, and don't tempt shit. You know better than that. You've seen a million horror movies where people tempt shit and it has a bad outcome.
It's the
now,
clapping
Bruce,
ghost.
Bruce, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
He's like, God is teasing me just like he teased Moses in the desert. He's like, he wasn't teasing Moses, he was testing him.
Like everybody,
Yeah, teasing.
everybody who watched Evil Dead knows you don't open the fucking book and read the words.
I have no book here.
When thou
Those are by you,
misspoke the
Andy.
words, the army of the dead awoke.
Actually, the remake of Evil Dead was pretty damn good, I think. If people
Well,
saw that one.
Ben, whatever it is that's in my house, it's not malevolent.
Well, I'm just saying, you still don't fuck with it.
I've never seen anything crazy or violent out of it. I've seen things move once in a while. Sometimes I'll see a reflection in the TV and I can't explain it. Like one time, I think I told this story on the previous episode, but I was sitting there, the room was dark, and I was watching a dark movie, so I could see a reflection behind me. Like I could see the reflection of the door behind me, and it's an open door. There's no door to it. It's just an opening. And I could see the reflection to the back room, and I saw a silhouette walk. And it was about the height of maybe one of my kids, walked past and through into that room. And I turned around and looked and nobody was there. And then I was like, that's weird. So I get up and I go look and nobody's in the front room. Nobody's in the hallway. So I go look, I check on my kids. They're both asleep. My girlfriend was asleep. I was the only one awake. So
Usually things that size and where it's like a silhouette too. Those are, what's called shadow people. And those things like to creep around corners. Like, so when it,
no, but I saw it straight walk, like looking at my TV behind me. I saw it walk past me. Well, like farther away from me though. Like,
yeah, you said you saw it walk through the doorway behind you.
Exactly. But it wasn't creeping around or peeking around corners.
No. I mean, so when it went by the doorway, if like when you went looking for it and you went through the door and like was looking for it, if there was a corner nearby in the direction that it was going, if you look towards that corner, a lot of times you'll see them like head poked around the corner and like to see if you're following them, and they'll kind of dart back into the shadows. Like I've seen that shit. It's fucking weird.
That sounds like a lure to me. Trying to lure
you. A lot of them do. They do that, dude. They're weird.
Windowless van.
Dude, those shadow people freak me out, man. I don't like the vibes I get off them.
Come on into my van. I got some candy for you.
Well,
they're darker than the dark.
This isn't just the tear-stained mattress in the back of the windowless van.
That's not all the stains that's on it.
I got a side hustle. I hunt shadow people for crackheads.
Oh shit! Must be a very lucrative business, huh?
So I think we've wandered far enough afield on this one.
Hell yeah, brother! Ghosts are real, and Bayou Andy killed all the people in Zeta Reticuli.
Yep,
that's what we learned today.
And the eats buttholes every day. Not sorry are definitely real.
Yep.
Yes. Well, we have two members here present with us, Bayou Andy and Bayou Ronny.
I'm definitely not sorry.
All right. Well, this was fun. This has been the Supernatural Beer Bros podcast, and we are signing out.